Welcome to The Deep Dive, the show that, well, cuts through the noise and hopefully delivers insights that truly empower you. Today we're plunging into one of the most nail-biting, emotionally charged moments in recent sporting memory, the 2022 FIFA World Cup final.
An absolutely unforgettable match.
Right. Cast your mind back to Lusail Stadium, that electric December evening, the world watching, breathless, it's halftime. The mighty French team, reigning champions, seen by everyone as one of the planet's absolute best. They're slowly, almost painfully, trudging off the field.
You could see it in their body language. Shoulders slumped, heads low.
Exactly. The air in that locker room must have been thick, not just with disappointment, but with this, crushing weight of what felt like an inevitable, comprehensive unraveling.
2 goals down against Argentina.
2-0. And that dream of back-to-back World Cup titles, which is, almost mythical. It just felt like it was slipping through their fingers.
Gone.
And then right in that moment of just profound despair, this singular figure emerged.
Kylian Mbappé.
Kylian Mbappé. He was just 23 years old, which is incredible. Not even the team captain, yet he stepped into that void.
He really did. And his halftime intervention, caught on camera, it's become legendary now.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
A powerful testament to leadership under, unimaginable pressure. It wasn't just a pep talk, was it?
No, far from it. It felt like a moment of absolute truth. And that's what we're here to dig into today.
Right. Our mission for this deep dive is to show you that this isn't just some thrilling sports story, though it definitely is that.
Oh, for sure.
But it's also a profound, universally applicable lesson in leadership, in resilience, and actually in a fundamental truth about human nature that kind of echoes in every part of our lives.
We've looked at quite a few analyses, haven't we? Particularly Christianless and Gola's work, Kylian Mbappé. A moment of truth in leadership. It was really insightful.
Incredibly insightful. So our goal is to pull out those critical nuggets, helping you understand not just what happened on that pitch,
But why it matters, why it's relevant for you, navigating your own challenges, pursuing your own ambitions.
Exactly. And we'll be meticulously examining what we're calling the revealing gap between ambition and action.
Ah, yes, that gap. It's subtle, but powerful.
It really is. A silent saboteur that often undermines our dreams long before we even realize what's happening. So get ready to maybe challenge some assumptions about how success is really built.
And perhaps rethink how you approach, pretty much every moment of your day.
Okay, so to really get the scale of Mbappe's intervention, we have to first immerse ourselves in just how bad things were for France at halftime.
Yeah, the psychological and tactical abyss they were in, that 0-2 score line. It wasn't just a number.
No.
It was like the chilling symptom of devastating, almost complete collapse in performance. The team, for all its undeniable talent, was showing clear signs of, psychological paralysis.
And that psychological state.
Wow.
It was, as you said, almost a clinical study in distress. Dr. Laurent Duclos, a sports psychologist who analyzed the match later, he called it a state of collective learned helplessness.
Which sounds quite academic, but think about what it means.
Right. Imagine being at the absolute pinnacle of your profession, biggest stage imaginable.
The World Cup final.
And yet, as a group, becoming so profoundly convinced that you just cannot influence what's happening, that you basically stop trying.
It's a terrifying mental prison, isn't it?
Yeah.
Where effort feels completely futile, hope just evaporates. It leads to this kind of mass resignation.
And that was compounded, wasn't it, by what Dr. Sarah Thompson called occasion overwhelm?
Exactly. Another key psychological factor, that's when the sheer magnitude, the pressure of the moment creates this disconnect, a gap between the team's world-class abilities, which everyone knew they had,
undeniable abilities,
and their actual execution on the pitch. And you could literally see it.
You could. The body language told the whole story. Slumped shoulders, almost zero communication between players.
Yeah, minimal. And their positioning defensively became completely reactive, just reacting to Argentina.
Which is the polar opposite of the aggressive, proactive play you expect from a team like France, especially in a final.
They look like a team of extraordinary athletes who were just frozen, paralyzed, unable to access the very skills that got them there.
Their movements were sluggish, passes lacked conviction, that famous tactical cohesion they had.
Completely dissolved, gone.
And the goals Argentina scored, they weren't just goals. They felt like psychological blows, each one just digging France deeper into that crisis.
The first one, 23rd minute. Angel Di Maria. Skillful veteran.
He drew that penalty from Ousmane Dembélé. Looked controversial at the time, maybe a bit soft.
Well, yeah, it seemed like minimal contact, maybe a bit theatrical.
Yeah.
But Howard Webb, the former ref, he analyzed it later and said something interesting.
What was that?
He said, basically, in the pressure cooker of a World Cup final, any contact in such situations tends to be magnified.
Ah, right. The stakes just amplify everything.
Exactly. And then Messi steps up. Ice cold, clinical conversion. Loris dives the wrong way.
And that early goal, barely a quarter of the way in, you could almost see the French composure just shatter.
Visibly. Little shifts in their play, more hesitancy, confidence just eroding immediately.
Then the second goal, only 13 minutes later, 36th minute, that one felt even worse somehow.
It really did.
Yeah.
Because it just highlighted France's total inability to stop the bleeding,
Yeah.
Their capitulation.
And it was a beautiful goal from Argentina's perspective.
Oh, a masterpiece of tactical execution.
Yeah.
Fluid counterattack. Started deep, Messi involved, brilliant pass.
McAllister's through ball just sliced the defense open.
Perfectly weighted. Set up Di Maria for a clinical finish. Michael Cox, the tactical analyst, he nailed it.
What did he say?
He said, this goal exemplified everything about modern football: transition speed, positional fluidity, and clinical finishing.
And the French defense?
Looked like bewildered spectators rather than participants, just caught out, no cohesion. Watching this masterclass unfold, totally powerless.
It wasn't just a lapse, was it? It felt systemic, a complete breakdown.
It really did.
It's genuinely hard to convey just how deep their predicament was at that point. Philippe Auclair, the French football journalist, he put it pretty starkly.
What was his take?
He said, it wasn't just that France were losing, they were being comprehensively outplayed in every single aspect of the game.
And the stats backed that up, didn't they?
Brutally. 0 shots on target at halftime, negligible possession in dangerous areas, a complete inability to connect midfield to attack. It wasn't just a bad half.
It was an historic failure unfolding live.
Yeah.
On the biggest stage possible.
Which brings up this crucial point. What happens when everything, all the data, all the history, says it's impossible?
Yeah, Dr. David Goldblatt, the sports historian, he gave that sobering context. He pointed out that in the history of World Cup finals, no team had ever recovered from a 2-goal deficit. Ever.
Wow. So the numbers, the performance, the weight of history, everything's pointing one way.
Towards a Messi coronation. A capstone to his legendary career. Didn't feel like a contest for France anymore.
The sense of destiny was palpable, wasn't it? And France just wasn't part of that story.
They felt like a footnote in someone else's triumph. Tragic, really.
So as we absorb that crushing reality at halftime, maybe pause for a moment. Think about your own life. Have you ever felt that level of occasion overwhelm or learned helplessness?
It's a relatable feeling, I think, even outside of elite sport.
Totally. Maybe before a huge presentation, a make-or-break negotiation, or facing some daunting personal challenge where the odds just felt stacked against you.
Do you recall that feeling? That paralyzing sensation where your skills just disconnect? Or that creeping belief that you just can't change the outcome?
Yeah. How did it feel when the weight of expectation or just the seeming impossibility felt totally suffocating? Because it's right there in those moments of seemingly complete despair.
When all hope seems lost.
That's where true leadership, often from unexpected places, can suddenly emerge.
And that's exactly what happened. That moment of despair is where the story takes this incredible turn. Picture that locker room again. Morale at rock bottom. Players grappling with those impossible odds.
And then Kylian Mbappé, just 23. Not the captain, not the elder statesman you might expect.
Nope. A young player who, just by sheer force of will and conviction, rose to the occasion. His intervention. It wasn't just rallying the troops.
No, it was more, wasn't it? Our sources call it an awakening call, a call to recognize their own potential, even amidst that despair.
He was speaking to their forgotten identity almost.
Exactly. And his words, captured by those cameras, they're etched in football history now.
He stood there, eyes blazing apparently, tone urgent but inspiring. Spoke with this authority that just defied his age.
Okay, let's share those words. First, in the original French.
C'est une finale de Coupe du Monde. C'est le match d'une vie. Ils jouent aussi une finale de Coupe du Monde. Et ils ont mis beaucoup plus d'énergie que nous. On ne peut pas faire pire que ce qu'on a fait. Soit on les laisse nous tuer, soit on y retourne avec un peu de folie et du grinta. C'est une finale de Coupe du Monde.
And the English translation really captures that raw power. It's a World Cup final. It's the match of a lifetime. They're playing a World Cup final too, and they've put in way more energy than us. we can't do worse than what we've done. We're going back out there either to let them kill us or we go with a little bit of craziness and some grinta. It's a World Cup final.
Let's unpack the brilliance of that, especially given the psychological state we talked about. That first line, we can't do worse than what we've done.
Such a masterstroke against that collective learned helplessness.
Right. He acknowledges the awful reality, but doesn't dwell. No blame. Just resetting the baseline. By saying they were at rock bottom, he basically says, the only way is up now. He took away the fear of failing more by saying the worst had happened.
Liberating them from that paralysis. Genius.
And then, immediately after that reset, he reframes the stakes. Powerful, repetitive emphasis. It's a World Cup final. It's the match of a lifetime.
That wasn't just motivation, was it? It was like a psychological re-anchoring, directly hitting that occasion overwhelm.
Totally. Screaming it, repeating it. Cutting through the pressure, the focus on their bad performance, refocusing them on the prize. The ultimate prize.
Which was still technically reachable. Reminding them of their purpose, the dream, overriding the fear with the sheer size of what they were fighting for.
And crucially, he didn't ignore Argentina's effort. They put in way more energy than us.
Which could sound like criticism, but it wasn't, was it?
No, it felt like an acknowledgement of their intensity, holding it up as a mirror to France's lack of fire. He was implicitly saying, it's not skill, it's fight, we're being outfought.
It's a direct challenge to their apathy. Match the intensity, don't despair.
Then came that pivotal choice. Either we let them kill us, or we go with a little bit of craziness and some grinta.
Brilliant rhetoric, reframing victimhood into empowerment, giving them agency back when they felt powerless.
Presenting an active choice, from passive recipients of defeat to active architects of their response. And that word grinta.
Explain grinta. It's more than just grit, right?
Oh yeah. It's this specific, visceral mix. Determination, fighting spirit, passionate resolve, a defiant will to win, often with a touch of, well, calculated madness.
It's like a primal commitment, a refusal to yield.
Exactly. And he wasn't just talking to individuals. The speech was also this powerful call for shared responsibility, tapping into national pride.
Igniting that collective spark, playing for more than just themselves.
It really transcended simple motivation. It was a blueprint for leadership under extreme pressure, cognitive reframing for a whole team in real time.
And the clincher, he didn't just talk the talk.
He walked the walk.
Yeah.
Immediately. Second half starts, and Mbappé. He didn't just play well. He transformed those words into action.
An incredible hat trick, including those 2 goals in rapid succession that dragged France back from the brink.
It was breathtaking individual brilliance, no doubt. But it was more. It was a testament to what happens when you face challenges with that unwavering, defiant mindset, when that grinta takes hold.
That whole sequence, it's just an extraordinary lesson in determination, resilience, applicable way beyond football.
Absolutely. It shows how we respond when the chips are down, but maybe more importantly, how we prepare for those moments in our daily lives.
Which brings us perfectly to this next big idea. Beyond the match itself, Mbappe's moment really shines a light on this profound, often overlooked truth about us, about human nature. This revealing gap between our aspirations and our actual consistent behavior.
The gap. Again, it's not just a small disconnect, is it?
No, it's insidious. It's this gap that silently sabotages our dreams without us even realizing it, slowly, bit by bit, eroding our potential.
And it's so sneaky because it often works below our conscious radar. Think about it in, say, corporate leadership. Lots of people have these grand ambitions, right? Visions of boardroom triumphs, transforming the organization, reaching the very top.
Big dreams.
Huge dreams. Then you look closely at their daily interactions, and it's a different picture. Maybe they stay distant, don't communicate well, maybe even seem dismissive.
They might have the technical skills down pat.
Exactly. Impressive skills, but they haven't invested in the actual art of building relationships, of mentoring, of creating environments where other people can thrive. They want the position of leader.
Without doing the daily work of being a leader, wanting the outcome without committing to the process.
Precisely.
That's a sharp observation. And this disconnect shows up in subtler ways too, doesn't it? All through our professional life.
Oh, definitely. You see people who've been in the same role for years, kind of quietly hoping seniority alone will just push them up.
It's just their turn.
Right. They dream about advancement, maybe even have ideas, but they make zero real effort to engage with colleagues outside their bubble. They don't try to understand the bigger picture of the organization or contribute beyond their immediate narrow tasks.
They are, in a way, like those French players in the first half you mentioned.
Exactly. They hold the aspiration, they want to win the World Cup, but they aren't putting in that consistent daily intensity and commitment Mbappé saw in the Argentinians. The desire's there.
But the continuous, often unnoticed extra effort, it's just missing.
This pattern pops up vividly in entrepreneurship too, often with even bigger stakes.
How so?
Well, many aspire to build these amazing, successful businesses. They envision the big launch, market domination.
The dream.
The dream. But they often completely overlook or just ignore the daily fundamental chances to build the relationships that are usually the bedrock of success.
Like what kind of chances?
They might live next door to a potential investor, share an elevator with a future collaborator, go to industry events surrounded by mentors or clients. But they stay wrapped in their own world.
Head down, focused only on their own idea.
Yeah. Rarely making the effort to just be friendly, show genuine interest in others, cultivate those connections that had opened massive doors later. They dream of success, but don't realize opportunities often come through the web of relationships you weave, often way before you think you need them.
Success isn't a solo mission then.
Rarely.
And what's really insidious about this ambition-action gap is how deep it goes. Right into our personal lives, our relationships.
Absolutely. Many of us, we harbor these deep dreams of fulfilling connections. Friendships, romance, family.
I want that.
Of course. Yet often we do very little to actually cultivate the character traits that make those connections possible. We might stay self-centered, impatient, be terrible listeners, always waiting to talk instead of hearing.
And then wonder why those meaningful, reciprocal relationships seem hard to find. Never connecting it back to our own daily behavior.
Which raises that critical question about investment. What are we really willing to invest to get what we aspire to? The truth is, building successful relationships, just like winning a World Cup final, requires us to work on ourselves first.
It demands that daily commitment, doesn't it? Developing patience, actively practicing listening, cultivating empathy, seeing beyond our own needs.
It requires showing up every day with that same intensity Mbappé saw in his opponents, but directed inward, towards personal growth. It's not grand gestures, it's consistent internal discipline.
And think about that paradox. People who constantly complain, "I never get the right opportunities," feel overlooked.
Yeah.
While at the same time, they treat every current interaction as if it were insignificant. Rushing conversations, superficial greetings, dismissing small requests.
They don't see the connection.
Exactly. They fail to realize that the person they dismissed today might be the one holding the door to a huge opportunity tomorrow. Every interaction, no matter how small, is a chance to show who you are, your character, what you stand for.
It's an opportunity to show you're playing your World Cup final, giving everything, regardless of the immediate stakes.
So this whole misalignment, it often comes from a basic misunderstanding of how success is actually built, right?
I think so, yeah. We tend to fixate on the big moments, the promotions, the final achievements, the trophy lift.
The highlights.
And we tragically overlook the countless daily choices, the micro-behaviors that pave the way to those moments. Just like a World Cup final isn't won only in those 90 minutes.
But through years of prep, dedication, countless small decisions on training grounds.
Exactly. Our success in any field is fundamentally determined by how we choose to show up with purpose every single day.
So what's the big implication? The really successful people, they get this, don't they?
Implicitly, yes. They recognize that every interaction is an opportunity, that every relationship holds potential. And they know that every moment is a chance to align their actions with their ambitions. They don't wait for the spotlight.
Yeah, they bring their own light.
Beautifully put. They approach each day, each conversation, each task with that same intensity, that unwavering commitment that Mbappé saw in Argentina. They internalize that success isn't about waiting for the right moment,
but about bringing your absolute best to every moment, treating each interaction like your own personal World Cup final.
And that mindset becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy of excellence.
So the big question then is, how do we bridge this gap? How do we actually start living our World Cup final every day?
Okay, let's really get into that. Living your World Cup final every day.
Yeah.
What Mbappé grasped in that halftime huddle wasn't just about football tactics. It was this fundamental principle, giving everything with uncompromising intensity in every single moment.
And that idea becomes really transformative when we apply it consciously to our own professional lives.
Let's use an example. Think about a young security guard.
Okay.
This person doesn't see their job as just a dead end or a temporary thing. Instead, they see it as the crucial first step in a much greater journey, a foundation.
So while others might just clock in and out, do the minimum.
Right. This individual actively pursues more education, maybe online courses in business or communication. They make a real effort to build relationships throughout the company, learn names, ask about departments, show genuine interest.
They treat every interaction, from the CEO to a delivery driver,
With the professionalism and focus of someone destined for more, they understand that today's security desk could very well be tomorrow's stepping stone to executive leadership.
That's a powerful reframe, turning an ordinary role into an extraordinary platform. And this mindset shows up in those small daily behaviors, doesn't it?
Absolutely. When this guard greets employees, it's not mechanical. It's genuine warmth, eye contact, maybe a sincere "how's your day?" fostering connection.
They take initiative, maybe learn about different departments from newsletters or asking smart questions, understand the business beyond their post.
Maybe even offer help or suggest small improvements, even when it's not required. They're not just working a job, they're actively, meticulously building a foundation, planting seeds of reputation and capability.
Which raises that question about investment again. Are we as invested in our personal growth, our inner world, as we are in our careers?
It's a critical question because this same World Cup final principle applies just as powerfully, maybe even more so, to our personal relationships.
We talked about people wanting meaningful connections, friendships, romance, family.
Right. But their daily actions often don't align. Maybe they stay self-absorbed, unwilling to work on flaws, expecting acceptance without effort. Poor listeners, quick to criticize, always late. Then wonder why deep relationships are hard. Building lasting relationships requires the same level of commitment, the same grinta, as playing in a World Cup final. That means constant work on ourselves. Developing patience, practicing truly active, empathetic listening, cultivating curiosity about others, consistently seeing beyond our own needs. It's a daily, conscious effort, continuous.
And the real game changer here is internalizing that every moment counts, just like Mbappé didn't wait, but seized the moment.
Transform the game through sheer will.
Success requires that same proactive approach from us. Think about the small opportunities daily, helping a colleague, learning about someone's work, showing kindness to a stranger.
They seem small, insignificant in isolation.
But they're actually the fundamental interlocking building blocks of extraordinary long-term success. Each one is a micro-investment in your future.
And this mindset totally reshapes how we view mundane workplace stuff. Mandatory team meetings, not tedious obligations. Invaluable opportunities to show leadership by asking good questions, build connections by engaging with different views, deepen understanding of the big picture.
And just interacting with colleagues, not mere professional courtesy.
No. Genuine chances to deepen understanding, foster collaboration, create trust. They're not just going through the motions, they're actively, intentionally creating their future with every single interaction.
Every handshake, every chat, every email, a strategic building block.
Exactly.
And this goes way beyond the office, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
How we treat neighbors, service staff, how we act socially, even online. All of these moments are potent opportunities to consistently demonstrate who we are, embody our values, and show who we aspire to become.
It's about consistent character, not just performing for an audience.
Right. That entrepreneur dreaming of success but rude to their neighbor or dismissive to a barista, they're missing a fundamental truth.
Which is?
Enduring success is built on a foundation of consistent, positive interactions and genuine relationship building. It starts right outside your door. And what's really powerful about this World Cup final mindset is the compound effect.
Explain that, the compound effect.
When you consistently behave in alignment with your highest aspirations, with integrity and purpose, you create this magnetic field of opportunity around you.
Okay, that sounds transformative. How does it work?
People notice.
Yeah.
They instinctively notice and remember those who consistently bring their best. The person who was kind when there was nothing obvious to gain, showed interest when others didn't, maintained professionalism even casually.
These small impressions add up silently but powerfully, creating a reputation.
Exactly. And then opportunities that seem to come mysteriously out of nowhere, they aren't mysterious at all.
They're the natural result.
The natural, inevitable, logical result of choosing to approach every day like it's your World Cup final. It's understanding the long-term impact of investing your best self in every moment. You build respect, trust, goodwill. You become ready.
Prepared for anything because you've been practicing greatness all along.
That's it.
So how does this help us break through our own limits, achieve things we thought were impossible?
Right, let's get into that. Breaking through self-imposed limitations. Think back to Mbappe's penalties. That was truly remarkable.
Not just the hat trick, but how he scored those penalties.
Exactly. He wasn't known as a penalty specialist, yet he scored 3 against Emiliano Martinez, widely seen as the world's best, most intimidating penalty-saving keeper.
That transformation from perceived weakness to strength, it's a powerful lesson about potential, isn't it?
Huge. And it makes you think, how often do we let our own self-imposed limits define us? Build mental barriers, restrict what's possible.
We tell ourselves these stories, don't we? I'm not good enough for that, not my area, not wired that way.
And these narratives, if we don't challenge them, they dictate everything. Think how many talented people stay stuck in their job descriptions, never daring to go beyond what's required.
Using phrases like, that's not my department, or I'm not qualified for that yet, effectively self-sabotaging.
Exactly. But the people who achieve extraordinary things, they get that growth happens precisely when we willingly step beyond our comfort zones.
Just like Mbappé didn't let his reputation limit him in the highest stakes moment. We shouldn't let our current skills or job title define our future potential.
It's an internal shift. Seeing your current state as a starting point, not the end point.
Which leads to the idea of genuine preparations, more than just technical skills, right?
Much more. It's about developing the complete character profile, the resilience, curiosity, strategic thinking, adaptability of someone truly worthy of the success they're chasing.
So professionally, that might look like what?
Volunteering for tough projects before you feel totally ready. Actively building relationships across departments or even outside the company, even when there's no immediate payoff.
Proactively developing skills that seem peripheral now but align with long-term goals, like public speaking, data analysis, creative problem solving.
Precisely. It's a holistic, continuous investment in your future self.
So what does this mean for creating value right where you are now?
Think about the difference. Someone passively waiting for a promotion, maybe feeling entitled to it,
versus someone who actively and consistently creates tangible value wherever they are, elevating their current role.
Right. The first person might complain about not being recognized while doing the minimum. The second person is already operating, thinking, contributing at the higher level they aspire to.
That's the operating at a higher level mindset you mentioned.
Exactly. Taking initiative in meetings, offering solutions outside their direct responsibility, consistently showing leadership qualities.
Not because they're asked to, but because that's who they're becoming.
They're embodying their future self in the present, laying the groundwork for opportunities long before they appear.
And this shift in mindset, it transforms ordinary moments into something extraordinary, doesn't it?
It really does. It elevates everyday interactions from routine into chances for growth and connection.
So every conversation is a chance to practice active listening. Truly understand.
Yes. Every challenge, however small, is an opportunity to show your problem-solving skills, creativity, composure.
And setbacks. Not failures, but moments to show resilience, learn, adapt.
And crucially, this isn't about manipulation or office politics. It's about authentic commitment. Consistently bringing your best, self-full presence, highest effort, generous spirit to every situation.
And that authenticity is key, because when you genuinely approach interactions with that World Cup final intensity, people notice.
They really do. They sense the sincerity, the commitment, the willingness to go the extra mile. This creates what Lisangola called that resonance of excellence.
Resonance of excellence, I like that. Captures that natural attraction where opportunities and like-minded people are drawn to your energy and dedication.
Like becoming a magnet for positive outcomes, just by emitting quality.
And this resonance isn't instant magic. It's built through that invisible compound effect of excellence.
Right. Mbappe's readiness wasn't sudden. It was years of training, choices, hours on the pitch. Our journey is the same, built through countless small decisions over time.
Each time we stretch ourselves, bring full presence and energy.
We're building momentum, incrementally. It's often imperceptible short-term, but the results become undeniable over time.
So what does that compound effect look like in real life?
Think about that entry-level employee showing executive-level thinking, anticipating needs, suggesting solutions, taking ownership. They don't just get noticed.
They create an entirely new narrative about what's possible in their role. Shift perceptions, accelerate their path.
Exactly. Or the person building genuine, trust-based relationships across all levels. They don't just expand their network.
They weave that web of opportunities that can activate any time, offering support, advice, unexpected connections.
They get that every interaction, every kindness, every shared insight is a vital thread in the intricate tapestry of their future success, meticulously weaving strength one thread at a time.
Which brings us to the ultimate test of all this: consistency.
Ah, yes. Consistency in action.
Because this is where it gets real. The true measure of this World Cup final mindset,
Yeah.
it isn't how we perform when everyone's watching, in the big moment.
No, it's how we approach the seemingly insignificant, the mundane, the unobserved moments. That's what reveals true commitment and character.
So we need to ask ourselves some tough questions.
What?
Are we as attentive, as present in casual hallway chats as we are in formal board meetings?
Oof, good one. Or do we bring the same unwavering excellence, the same care to small admin tasks as we do to high-profile projects?
These questions are like a litmus test, aren't they? Revealing if we're truly living our values or just performing when we think it counts.
Consistency is the ultimate acid test, no doubt.
And it was that unwavering consistency that really separated Mbappé in that final, even facing defeat after that disastrous first half. His commitment to excellence never dipped.
His grinta never wavered. He approached every single moment after halftime, each touch, each sprint, as if that could be the one to change the game.
That relentless, almost obsessive commitment to excellence in every micro moment, it allowed him to do what seemed impossible.
But significance of that performance goes way beyond football. France lost the shootout, heartbreakingly.
Yeah, the ultimate outcome.
But the principles Mbappé showed, that's a universal blueprint for success in every arena of life. It wasn't just about scoring or winning. It was about embodying excellence, commitment, agency, even when facing insurmountable odds.
Defining himself by the effort, not just the outcome.
Exactly.
So the universal takeaway, whether you're dreaming of leadership, building a business, or just wanting better relationships,
The fundamental truth remains irrevocably the same. Your daily behaviors, no matter how small, must perfectly align with your ultimate, most audacious ambitions.
it's not enough just to dream it. You have to actively, consciously, consistently live each moment as if you are already the person you want to become.
And think about the transformative power when you embrace that, approaching each interaction, task, relationship with that World Cup final intensity, full presence, genuine effort, unwavering focus. You're not just performing better short term.
You're doing something much deeper.
You're actively reshaping your very reality. That security guard acting like an executive isn't just doing a job. They're laying groundwork for opportunities that will open up.
The colleague building genuine relationships isn't just being friendly. They're weaving that network that could redefine their career.
The profound truth here is that greatness isn't reserved for special moments. It's built through consistent, unwavering excellence in ordinary, everyday situations.
Just like Mbappé transformed that desperate situation, we have the capacity to transform our own circumstances by bringing that same dedication and intensity to everything we do.
And when we decide to treat each interaction, each task, as if it could be the one that changes everything, we create this self-sustaining pattern of excellence. It inevitably leads to extraordinary results.
So as we wrap up this deep dive, the essential truth to carry forward from that incredible final from Mbappe's performance is this: success isn't about passively waiting for your moment in the spotlight.
It's about consistently bringing spotlight-worthy performance to every single moment you inhabit.
The person you pass in the hall, the small task done with excellence, the character you build in private, these are the non-negotiable foundations for public achievements.
The ultimate question isn't whether you'll face your own World Cup final moment, that defining challenge. The real question is, will you be truly ready when it comes?
Having meticulously built that unshakable foundation through thousands of smaller moments, each approached with that same intensity and dedication.
So there you have it. Mbappe's pivotal moment really is this dramatic, visceral illustration of how consistent, focused, intentional action in our daily lives, even the small stuff, is the true foundation for extraordinary achievement, for bridging that gap between our ambitions and our reality.
We really hope you'll consider the power of this mindset in your own life. What ordinary moment today can you choose to approach with that World Cup final intensity? The answer? And the ripple effect. It might just surprise you.
Because in the end, the true measure of our success isn't only in the big goals we score, it's profoundly in the character we build, the relationships we forge, and the legacy we create through the cumulative power of our daily choices.
So ask yourself, honestly, Are you just waiting for your big moment? Or are you actively, consistently living each day with that World Cup final intensity?
The answer to that question, well, it might just determine the difference between an ordinary existence and truly extraordinary achievement.